you can draw, well, your talent's worthless. So just do this thing for me.
Yeah, it's fine. Take you what, 5 minutes? Who cares?
Yeah. I don't know. Hey, if you didn't want Ariel to have a pair of double D's, then you shouldn't have asked me. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Wednesday Night, Gentlemen, the Multimedia Empire official podcast. You are listening to episode number 20. On this show, we like to talk about comic books, movies, TV shows, video games, and everyone's favorite political discourse. I am your host, Tactic Angel, and with me is Midget Radio, my murderous socialist friend.
Hello.
How are you today, Midget Radio?
Doing well, Tactic Angel. How are you?
I am also okay, getting my social lubricant on for this
Fantastic.
episode. I think you have some jingly drinks there as well.
I do. It's hard to mute that noise. I'd have to cover the entire glass, and even then, it doesn't work. But yeah, I've got the Tullamore Dew today.
That is great. One of my personal favorites.
It's good stuff. It is good stuff.
I have decided to go with oh shit, I forgot. Oh no, this is
You don't have the bottle right next to you?
no, this is Bullet Rye, I can tell.
Okay.
It is very rye.
Mm-hmm.
Very.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm not sure how I feel about the rye.
I like some ryes better than others. This isn't towards the top. This is if you're really into rye, Bullet Rye is
Okay.
very rye.
Nice.
So today we're going to try to stumble through that and into a couple of topics. There are two upcoming films we have watched the trailer for recently, and we're going to kind of give our opening thoughts. They are both Disney movies.
God, everything is a fucking Disney movie now.
Thor Ragnarok and Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Brought to you by Mickey Mouse.
He is
and then we're going to talk about an independent project that we've talked about before. Star Trek Continues. This is episode number 8.
Yeah, I think so.
Still Treads the Shadow. So we'll start off with the trailers. Who knows how this is going to go. Thor Ragnarok is going to be the third and probably final solo Thor movie starring Chris Hemsworth and Cate Blanchett, strangely enough.
Mm.
Obviously, if you haven't seen the other two Thors, this is probably not going to make a ton of sense. But then again, I think most of the stories are relatively watchable without context.
I'd say that's true.
How did you feel about the Thor Ragnarok trailer?
I think that the use of that Led Zeppelin song was particularly effective for some reason. I don't know why.
It is,
but that kind of made the trailer for me.
It is one of my pet peeves.
Nice. So we're on opposite ends of this.
Yeah.
That's awesome, because it's probably my favorite thing about the trailer. That song is awesome.
I was into this movie whether or not the trailer was any good.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see the direction that they're going. It looks like Cate Blanchett is playing Hela, who is...
Yeah, Hela looks great. Her fucking headgear looks awesome.
That's full on comic book.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. I mean, that is the one thing that the Marvel movies, well, there's a number of things they excel at, but the costuming, it just seems like they always fucking knock it out of the park. And I love the way she looks. She looks fantastic.
I was actually I watched the whole thing and I was like, who is that? And I had to,
yeah.
And it was like, that's Cate Blanchett.
Yeah.
okay.
Looks awesome.
Some costuming going on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting, because she's like I'm not going to say she's a heavyweight. She's definitely a capable actress. Like,
oh, totally. Yeah, totally.
But to see her playing like this villainess thing, it makes me feel like hopefully this movie will kind of break the mold of kind of the one area where Marvel typically fails. And strangely enough, Thor movies typically excel at, because Loki is kind of the end all be all of villains.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely the best villain.
Who would have ever thought?
I know it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, with someone like Cate Blanchett in a villain's role, I mean, she's more than capable of kind of breaking out of that mold of, two-dimensional kind of one-note villains that we've seen for so many of these movies now.
Yeah. And I hope they give her enough time to do that.
I hope so too. Yeah, that'd be exciting to see. And at least she looks great though. I'm excited about that.
We did get to see Heimdall finally released from his babysitting role. I've always wanted to see Heimdall run around kicking some ass.
Yeah. Well, and Idris Elba too. God, these movies have such fantastic casts. So yeah, it'll be nice to see him kind of in the thick of things. But what did you think like of the overall thrust, I guess, of the trailer? What the storyline seems to be?
I mean the name of the title says it all. It's when Hela decides that it's the end of the world and is coming to bring the, I don't remember, fifth age. Are we in the fifth age?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Jesus God, I don't know.
Third, fourth, fifth, one of the ages, whichever one we're in, she's gonna bring it to a close. She murders everybody, and then there's I wonder if they're gonna go with I wonder if we're gonna see like a Midgard serpent sort of thing, since we've already seen something like that.
I don't know. That's what kind of made it seem weird to me, because I was like, well, this is sort of, I mean, this is the Norse apocalypse basically. Why does it seem to be centered around gladiatorial combat? That's weird.
And gladiatorial combat that takes place on a planet somewhere in space.
Mm-hmm. So it's a little odd. I just thought that was a little weird. Like,
I think this is.
I expected more explosions, I guess, is what I'm saying.
I mean, I don't mind if they keep it. I mean, small in the sense of obviously Thor Ragnarok is the end of the world,
right?
So we're not gonna get a Judge Dredd. The plot is
not gonna be a bottle episode.
We need to get out of the building. I have a feeling there's a lot more at stake.
I think so.
But if they can keep it contained and they can keep like the explosions and stuff down, I would appreciate more of that. Actually, I think Hemsworth does a surprisingly good job at playing Thor, even though I am pretty sure he's not actually a good actor.
I don't know. I guess I haven't really seen him in much of anything other than the Marvel movies. I know he's been in other stuff, but yeah. I mean, he's a great Thor. He's managed to take a character that is otherwise incredibly boring and uninteresting generally, and translate him into something that's fun to watch on screen.
Yeah. I was actually a little bit off put by the "he's a friend from work" line.
That's Marvel though. I mean, that's exactly the kind of shit that they do. So at this point, I feel just kind of desensitized to it. I guess they do cross the line sometimes. I still don't really like the end of Guardians of the Galaxy, but
You mean the hand holding?
No, I'm fine with that. I hate the fucking dance competition. I think it's stupid. And it makes me mad that he does it in front of Ronan the Accuser, yet another two-dimensional villain who's really fantastic in the comics and looks like a goddamn imbecile in Guardians of the Galaxy.
I kind of liked it. I'm still gonna stick with I kind of liked it. That doesn't make my top 5 of things wrong with Guardians of the Galaxy. But my point is, with the gladiatorial thing in space, I think this is gonna actually be like we've already seen them trying to link up Doctor Strange with Thor at the end of Doctor Strange, and I think Thor is gonna somehow help bridge that gap that you need to bridge with the next Avengers movie going into Infinity War and a giant purple god from space coming down to murder people with his magic glove.
Was there another stone? I forget.
Yeah, the last stone probably ought to be revealed in this movie, I would think.
I would guess either that or like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, right? Because that's May. Is it May or June? I think it's May.
Okay. Whenever it is, we're going to see it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's 1 of 2 opportunities unless they introduce the last one in that actual movie. Maybe he already has one.
Yeah.
It's
possible.
It's possible.
That is possible.
It doesn't matter.
Josh Brolin, Thanos, who's also going to be Cable, to totally derail this conversation.
I was not at all like some people, and I'm sure if you're still paying attention to the CBR, they were like, somebody was like, I don't like it when 2 people play different roles.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I'm sure that they're just all butthurt about Deadpool because you're like, that's not Deadpool, that's Green Lantern.
I'm sure there's one person out there like that. Yeah.
They are specifically suffering the condition of hurt butt. I mean, like, it's not a big deal for me because I'm not going to look at Thanos and think, that's Brolin.
Yeah.
Because he's got 6 chins.
Yeah.
And he's purple.
Yeah. I don't know if he's mostly makeup or mostly 1s and 0s, but it doesn't.
He's all 1s and 0s.
Josh Brolin, so
he looks nothing like Brolin. And then, like, it may be Brolin's voice, but like I feel like it's not like you walk or like Josh Brolin walks into a Subway and it's like, "Can I take your order, sir?" He's like, "I would like a sandwich."
Holy shit, it's Thanos.
You're like, I mean, like, he doesn't have, his voice isn't naturally as deep and dramatic, and I think he's doing a voice for that.
Yeah.
So then if he shows up and he's Cable and he's just like, I'm Josh Brolin, women like to have sex with me, that sort of thing.
He's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. As long as he's got gray hair or salt and pepper or better.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll definitely need to do something about that.
Yeah, he needs to look old as fuck.
Yes, please.
Back to Thor though. I'm excited. I was excited before this didn't. There was nothing in this other than the 2 things that I don't like to see a ton of, which is out of place comedy, and it might work in the context of the film, and I don't like people playing Beastie Boys over Star Trek trailers.
Whatever. Zeppelin over Thor is so much different.
It was better, and I might have just said it was better because I don't have as much on the line when it comes to Thor. There's
that's true.
Not a lot of emotional weight associated with his character.
Though you and I think, are both higher than your average person on certainly the first Thor movie.
Absolutely.
And maybe a little bit the second Thor movie, which wasn't very good, but I mean, I was all right with it. It's definitely kind of enjoyed it well enough. But the first Thor movie, I mean, that was fucking awesome. I don't understand anybody's problem with that movie.
I think other than the one line that doesn't make sense when and I always have to say this. I believe that genocide is bad, but I don't think it makes sense that Thor is all of a sudden like really concerned about the plight of what are essentially ants to his power level.
Yeah. Whatever.
I just needed one more lesson.
Yeah.
It could have been anything.
Yeah.
But
that would have been
that's what my one nit. And it's a weird thing to think when they're like, Loki's like, I'm going to kill all the humans. And then Thor's like, you can't kill everybody. And it's like, didn't you just like at the beginning of this movie, you went to Frost Giant planet so that you could murder all of them?
Yeah.
Isn't that what
then he learned because of Natalie Portman, apparently.
I guess.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Look, do you have any closing thoughts on Thor? I think I agree with you. I think I might be a little bit lower on Thor 2 than you are. I think that might be the radio teleporter was a little silly.
That was
the makeup ridiculous. Was amazing.
Yeah.
I loved the look of the Dark Elves.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. If they could have like had any personality or anything going for them other than
I agree. I mean, there's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing to that race, but they do look cool, and I do like Asgard too, and we spend quite a bit of time on Asgard in that movie. But no, I certainly wouldn't defend it. Thor I would defend, but Thor 2 not so much.
Me too. I would defend Thor. Moving on to Star Wars. Star Wars is the next
Star Wars
thing that just cannot be escaped from, because now there's going to be a movie or two
all the time,
every year until you die. And the only way that you can stop it is to die. So anyway, Star Wars Last Jedi is continuing on from episode 7. The Force Awakens, and I guess it looks like it's going to center quite a bit around the training of Rey, right?
Yeah. Not on a swamp planet, at least, but yeah.
A much prettier planet that looks a little bit like one of the bullshit isles around Scotland.
Yeah. Yeah. I like a lot of training on the side of cliffs and stuff, It's cool.
Yeah. I guess it's the visual thing. How do you feel about this whole? They didn't show us a lot. I think they call this a teaser trailer, and I didn't get a whole lot out of it.
No, I don't know what it's about.
I believe there will be a space battle.
Yeah, probably a space battle. Probably a lightsaber fight.
Yeah.
Some blasters. I don't know. It's so hard. These movies are so unfair because like every time I see X-Wings and TIE fighters in space, I mean, it looks fucking awesome. And watching Rey like practice her lightsaber skills on the side of a mountain.
Like the Highlander.
All of that yeah, exactly. All of that stuff looks so good. So, I even like the ships skating along the sand and kicking up all that red dust. Like, it's a cool visual. That's a cool, interesting visual. So, I mean, the movie looks good, but, it's a J.J. Abrams movie. He doesn't know how to make movies unless they've already been made. So I don't know what to expect. I watched it again just thinking, is this going to be a lesser Empire? She's training and, not too many overt visual references to Empire, at least so far. But when we watch the movie, I wonder if it's going to feel the same.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't really like episode 7. And it was probably because I'd already seen it. And it just felt like the Asylum version of episode 4.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren didn't do it for me. There was little chemistry between any of the main characters.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit Harrison Ford and Ray, or Han Solo and Ray, but then he gets fucking killed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not super stoked about this movie, and this movie didn't make me super stoked. Or this trailer didn't make me any more stoked.
Yeah.
The one thing was like, I hope that it's just like the middle of the movie is just dull. Like, I just want to see training and something else can be happening with the Rebel Alliance, and she can just be off like doing whatever, being selfish with her time.
Yeah.
Apparently she can already do anything she wants without any training.
That is a little weird. Yeah.
So why did
the use of, I don't know. It's a little weird.
Turns out Luke Skywalker is only going to be in about 5 minutes. She's going to show up. She's going to be like, look at what I can do. I'm going to go stand on the end of this cliff and whoosh, 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 whoosh. He's like, well, I can't teach you anything. There just shouldn't be any more Jedi. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And that'll be the movie. Why not? I've never piloted a ship. How did you do that? I don't know. I just did it.
You know, it just worked. Force just did it. You know,
I picked up this laser sword and I bested not necessarily a very well trained, but definitely a trained person.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I apparently understand Wookiee, even though I've lived my entire life on a desert planet. Maybe it's a common tongue. Maybe a lot.
Maybe.
Right?
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I can't say I'm super excited for it either. Because it's J.J. Abrams Star Wars. I mean, that's really the only thing. Like, I feel like if anybody else was doing it and I saw this exact same trailer, I'd be like, well, okay, I might be able to get into this. Because Rogue One was good.
I liked Rogue One, and I actually bought it, and I watched it again, and I liked it even more. I know that people say that the characters aren't interesting, and
yeah,
Cassian isn't exactly great, but like you can see when you watch Cassian that he has. I feel like he does have a backstory, and maybe I think the actor does a relatively good job with the relatively small number of lines he has.
Yeah. I agree with that. He's got some, like, he's good. He definitely feels like there's a little bit of mystery about him.
Yeah.
Like he's seen some shit and, you know, yeah.
Well, and this is not a direct comparison, but like Commodus and Gladiator, you could tell that he was wounded.
Yes. Yeah.
Commodus is like a 10 in terms of villainy.
Yeah.
Cassian is
absolutely. You don't need to know how he grew up. He conveys enough of it where, I
don't know. I liked episode. No, I shouldn't say that. I liked episode 4, 5, and 6, and I liked Rogue One, and the rest of it is pretty much garbage. And I expect that this will be fairly disposable too.
Probably. I was okay with Force Awakens. I imagine I'll be okay with this movie too. That's my guess.
I think that it will be deeply into the meh to possibly worse, considering how Into Darkness went.
Well, that was, that was, my God.
I aped all the easy shit in the first one, and then it started getting more difficult, and I was struggling, and then I just quit. Which was good.
Yes.
But they still made another movie.
Yeah, and it didn't. It was better.
Great.
Yeah.
Would you like to bitch about Star Wars anymore before we start talking about Star Trek?
No, I'm fine. I don't really care that much about Star Wars anyway.
All right.
It's entertaining.
Subject over. We got to talk about Star Trek Continues. Star Trek Continues is an independent fan film, which I think can be safely said is spearheaded by the captain on the show, Vince Mignogna. Yep.
I think it's Mignogna.
Mignogna. I like this guy.
Yeah.
He actually...
he cares about Star Trek.
He does definitely care about Star Trek.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about specifically still treads the shadow, which is the most recent episode. This is an episode that vaguely deals with a space-time rupture and an alternate Kirk appearing out of the void. What did you think of this?
I thought it was kind of bizarre, actually. It felt like one of their more bizarre episodes because there were a lot of Kirks. Like, so many Kirks. I almost felt like I was watching or reading an X-Men comic because there were a lot of different versions of the same person.
There were just there were just 2.
3. Technically, there were 3.
What was the third?
Which was the computer.
Oh, yeah.
Tiberius.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but no, I mean, it was, it was enjoyable enough. I liked it. Well, I mean, their production continues to be just top notch. I mean, from the costumes of the ship to the lighting, I mean, it all just looks flawless. And it's amazing to me that they're able to pull that off so consistently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I dug it overall. It felt like a pretty or fairly legit Star Trek classic Trek episode anyway.
I'm gonna kind of put this in terms of like rather than rate it based on a Netflix scale, we're gonna rate it based on Star Trek season 1,
okay,
2, or 3.
Okay. Okay.
If this was a completely legitimate Star Trek, the original series TV show,
yeah,
do you think that it would be, in terms of quality, most likely in season 1 or 2 or 3?
In terms of quality, that's a good question. I don't know. I may put it in 2. I may put it in season 2.
Okay.
Maybe. I feel like that's the season where it's still pretty good. And it hasn't gone like wholly absurd yet. And it doesn't feel like we let's have them go to old Western planet, or let's have them go to caveman planet, where you're still basically in America or on Earth, but it's a different version of Earth. So yeah, I don't know. I might put it in season 2.
Okay. That's actually a pretty good argument, because this I mean, the plot does try to do a little bit more than you get with like the Monster of the Week stuff,
right? Particularly
in season 3.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like the first 30, 40 minutes of this was solid.
Yeah.
I was with it, and then I feel like the characters start making, a couple of them, some fairly bizarre decisions.
I agree. I do feel like they kind of ramped up the melodrama, and it was a little artificial in the manner that they did that.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not. Honestly, it's probably not that different than a lot of the melodrama you get in Trek.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm still gonna put it in season 3.
Okay. I could absolutely see an argument for that.
It's just the I was with them, and then it kind of, the wheels fell off. And I'm trying to put this separately so that we can put a spoiler tag on this if you want to talk about it deeper than that. Okay. But I kind of feel like I feel like the wheels fell off of it at a certain point, and it didn't completely crater. It wasn't like watching Into Darkness again.
Right.
But that's actually really mean. It might not even have been Star Trek 5.
No,
which I consider to be significantly more watchable than Into Darkness.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the cast for sure, but yeah, and probably the storyline and the plot and the writing too. But
And what does God need with a starship?
yeah, that is a pretty fantastic line. So what a terrible movie. But
Hey, you wait for the end. The payoff is what does God need with the starship?
that was the Jet Boots movie too.
It was. And they teach Spock how to sing in a round.
Fuck though, I'd probably still rather watch that than even the third movie because
actually that
Jet Boots are
campfire
better than
scene,
Beastie Boys. But
that campfire scene is actually funny when Spock tries to psychoanalyze what the meaning of row, row, row your boat means.
That part is kind of, and that's past Jet Boots, I think, where they're finally just hanging out and talking to each other. It becomes less slapstick than, And
then of course McCoy's like, you son of a bitch. Vulcan. It's great.
Those three actors, I mean, there's no better fucking relationship in all of Star Trek history. So it's almost like you give them anything to do and just put them in the room together. It's going to at least be watchable.
Yeah. Yeah. Spock, Jim, and McCoy go to the movies.
Yeah.
It could be like,
that would be awesome.
It could be like Always Sunny, like a spinoff. And it's just like the gang goes to the grocery store.
That'd be amazing. Getting their shuttlecraft.
Yeah. That said, we'll assume that there are spoilers and slap that tag up. Do you have any additional thoughts on specifically, like, I'm going to complain about it.
Okay. You complain. Go.
Okay. So Kirk gives old Kirk the Enterprise.
Yeah,
so
that made no sense. Yeah.
Over to the other Enterprise.
No sense.
And shut down Robo Kirk.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then old Kirk, who's now the captain of the normal Enterprise, says, well, I guess it's not the Enterprise. It was the Defiant.
The Defiant, yeah.
Yeah. Which is a little weird because it's NCC symbol. And I was like, am I missing something? Yeah, it's probably on that episode. I didn't, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he countermands his orders by having him stunned and then going back himself.
Yeah.
And then his, I guess, childhood girlfriend is like, let me go.
I guess so. Yeah.
That was actually a little bit. Right? She did do that.
It didn't make any sense. I will say that the show is good at writing female characters the way that 60s era Star Trek tends to write female characters, where they're incredibly emotional and you don't really understand why. But that's just how they are, I guess. Yeah, I did not understand that. It was so hard to understand where the fuck she was coming from. You're just like,
some would say
she's a lady, so she has all these
some
feelings.
Would say that they write females the best.
Certainly in the 60s. But yeah, she didn't make a lot of sense.
So Avi was actually played by Rekha Sharma, right?
I have no idea. She looks familiar to me. But
she's one of the final 5.
Oh, that's right. She was the president's assistant or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
And she was familiar. A toaster.
Yeah. Fucking toaster. Should have died on that Defiant, I guess. But
whatever.
Did you understand why the Defiant had to go through the singularity? Did you understand that? To shut, like... Well, I'm sorry, the doorknob for the singularity is on the opposite side, so I guess I have to go over here and fucking push it.
So I kind of got the sense that Tiberius had created the singularity.
Yeah.
and that he had to go back and reset Tiberius so that they could get rid of the singularity in some way. But I didn't really understand I did not understand the necessity of going back through it.
Yeah.
Other than that it would make sure that Tiberius was dead.
Yeah. Yeah, it was because the plot needed it to happen, basically, because we can't have two Kirks running around.
Yeah, we don't want to do this much makeup.
Yeah, that was a little disappointing. But it's like, when the show can't answer questions like that, it makes it all of the melodrama that arises from that situation, that he's got to go back and he's going to be alone and he's going to die. All of that, I feel like it just falls flat on its face because it doesn't make any damn sense at all. You're just like, okay, I guess I'll just accept the fact that he has to go through this fucking door, and we'll never see him again and he'll die, and she's upset about it. It's just, that's the kind of shit that makes those scenes just ring hollow.
Yeah, it's actually because of the amount of melodrama, it's going to ring something different than hollow. It's going to ring like, what the hell?
Yeah. This doesn't make sense. Yeah. Whatever.
I've never had an emotional experience in my life that's like this. Or an emotional experience.
Right?
So I was a little bit like, what? What is happening?
Yeah.
There was a lot of it that I liked, and then I felt like it went a little bit off the rails.
Yeah.
I do like that they invite different people on.
Yeah.
Like they're getting a lot of other sci-fi people and some Trek veterans into this thing.
Yeah.
And that's exciting. I still love what is his name?
Lou Ferrigno?
What?
He was in an episode.
Simon Hunn from Lolani.
Oh. I can't picture him for some reason. Are you looking it up? Are you looking it up right now?
Lou Ferrigno. God damn it.
Yeah, Lou Ferrigno. That's what I said. The Hulk. The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah. So I was looking for Simon Hunn in my mind first, and then I lost Lou. And now we're back.
Great.
I love his performance in Lolani.
Yeah. Yeah, he's good. He's passionate.
I love that line. It's like, I will not sell her to you at any price because it pleases me to deny you.
Yeah, that was a pretty decent episode.
I would say a really good episode.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the first 3 episodes still remain my favorite.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree.
Because Through the Looking Glass, super fun.
Super
great.
Fun. Yeah. God, that was fun. Yeah.
Lolani was good, and it also said something.
Yeah.
And I think it split the difference in terms of sort of where we're at now versus where that plot should have been in the 60s.
Yeah.
I think it split the divide there pretty comfortably.
Yeah.
And children, or is it
Pilgrims.
children, or is it
Pilgrims,
Pilgrim?
Yeah, of Eternity.
Of Eternity. I enjoyed that too.
Yeah.
A nice story of redemption and a nice way to tie it in to the original series.
Yeah.
I think that's what they were trying to do with this one too.
Yes.
But I don't remember the episode.
I don't either. I was going to go back and rewatch it, but yeah, I don't remember it.
Maybe with that context, we would have thought better of it.
Maybe.
Well, I still have a couple of episodes left.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping for good things. I'm still happy to see some quality Trek, or at least some thoughtful Trek.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's been a space shooter for a little bit too long, and not enough of the sitting around a desk and expositioning.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, I was thinking lately about Discovery. I was talking about Discovery actually, with Hillary a little while ago, and I'm trying to just I'm at a place where I just want it to be better than Enterprise. Really, that's all I want. Like, I just want it to be a little bit better than Enterprise, and even in Enterprise, like the thing that, I mean, I don't.
You don't have to tell me.
We're gonna go crazy on this, but the thing that terrifies me about Enterprise with Discovery coming up is that Enterprise did have those episodes where there's, you know, a moral quandary of some kind. There's a difficult decision that needs to be made, and there's some thought put into it, but the solution that the captain arrives at is fucking insane. It's just batshit goddamn insanity. And that's what I worry about with Discovery a little bit.
Well,
because if we have similar writers, are we going to have similarly insane conclusions?
Yeah. And I think you're a little harsh on Enterprise.
He's crazy. He's a crazy man.
You specifically the one about the medical breakthrough, which doesn't make a lot of sense considering there is no prime directive at that time.
It's yeah.
But at the same time, there's no guarantee that they're going to die. And at the end of it, you still have T'Pol reprimanding the captain.
I guess I don't really remember her. Yeah, maybe it's because she's such a vacant character. I don't really remember what she said to him in response to, yeah, it's okay to basically let all these people die.
And I just love Enterprise for a few things. I love Enterprise for the Vulcan human thing.
Yes.
And their developing relationship.
Yes.
That obviously any episode that has Shran in it is amazing.
That's yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure that character is as interesting as that actor, but still.
Shran is interesting because a lot of times when he's in it, it's because of the Vulcan thing.
Yeah.
So I'm already on board. Vulcans, humans, Andorians, trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Love it. Jeffrey Combs, you can't.
Yeah, he's amazing.
I mean,
he's awesome.
Here's the thing. Star Trek Discovery comes out and there's no credit for Jeffrey Combs.
I know.
I mean,
maybe he'll show up
watch
as a
it?
Guest in like one episode, you know, like
that's
2 episodes.
That's the right way to do it, right? But if we don't have Jeffrey Combs, what are you doing?
He might guest star.
Put him in some makeup. He seems to be good.
Good Star Trek has been made without Jeffrey Combs, so
it's true. But like every character that he does is good.
Yeah,
I like them. Wayun, and
yes, I mean that's the zenith. That's the fucking top of the list. He is.
What was
remarkable?
The trade ambassador, this Ferengi. What is his name?
Oh shit, I don't remember. But yeah, because he brings something unique to every role that he plays.
Brunt. It's Brunt.
Yeah. Amazing.
Brunt is great. I didn't even realize that Brunt was played by the same person.
Because he's so good. He is so good. Yeah, maybe he'll show up. That would be exciting. But yeah, I just want, it's not a high bar, I feel like, to just give me some Trek that is moderately thoughtful and just makes sense. Just makes some sense. Just makes a basic amount of sense. Isn't batshit insane. Like, and I mean, really, I think you just need a decent and likable crew. I think that's what so much of it comes down to with Trek, and that was Enterprise's, I would say, its biggest failing. They just didn't. They never really took the time with anyone other than the captain and T'Pol, I guess.
But that was the 7 and 9.
No,
phenomenon.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
No, that was a cheap attempt to put in place certain physical aspects about 7 of 9, but 7 of 9 was actually an interesting character, and Jeri Ryan is a good actress. T'Pol, there's nothing there. There's nothing going on with that character. She is so fucking boring on screen. She has absolutely there's nothing compelling about her except for the boobs, and you can't say that about 7 of 9.
Well, my point is there are a lot of Star Trek fans.
I don't give a fuck.
And there are a lot of single male Star Trek fans.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at a character like 7 of 9 and that character works, it works on a couple of levels. I think you give her a little bit more credit than she deserves.
No, she's a good actress. She does a really good job at playing that split between human and Borg or recovering Borg. It's so interesting to see. Like, I love her kind of dead, almost matter of fact facial expressions when she's engaging in some kind of, particularly I like it with the more like strenuous physical activity, but she's interesting when she approaches things, like when she just says like, "Hey Harry Kim, do you want to bang? Because I don't know what sex is like." Like she manages to pull off those moments so well and so effectively and so matter of factly that someone like whoever the fuck the actress is that played T'Pol, I don't think she would have a prayer.
Jolene
Blalock, yeah. So Jeri Ryan is good. She seems to know, like, how she almost, I would almost compare her a little bit, certainly not to this caliber, but she kind of figured out a little bit, I think, of what Leonard Nimoy figured out when you play a Vulcan. And that's how to kind of show just enough of your hand when you're playing a character that's not really all the way human.
Something
I think
that Tim Russ never figured out.
Yeah, I don't think Tim Russ ever got that. So yeah, I think she deserves a hell of a lot more credit than she gets. And I think the tits thing it's unfortunately demeaning. I think it's unfair to her that because of her physical assets, I think a lot of her actual legit talent gets overlooked or kind of brushed aside, which I think is really unfair to her. But she's a way fucking better actress than Jolene Blalock ever was. So yeah, I don't know. I hope we don't see that in Discovery.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect about Discovery, but I could say the same thing about your critique of Jolene, though I would probably agree that she is not as good of an actress.
She is not. She's not. But still, I mean, even with
many
Enterprise,
patently bad actresses that I've seen in science fiction, particularly.
Well, yeah, and that
you start getting into like
sense.
Andromeda or whatever the hell. And it's just a whole crew of women who
they're there to do one thing, and it's sad. And Star Trek should be above all that, but you know,
it's mostly it has always had a sexual tension, and some of it's one way and some of it's the other way. And, but at the same time, it is, other than that Harry Kim episode where I don't remember the purpose of it. Does he get like an STD from banging some?
I don't. Maybe he gives her one. I don't remember. I can't remember.
No, you can't start with an STD if you never get any.
That's apparently he's one of people's like 50 most beautiful people alive or some shit.
Holy shit! I remembered Harry Kim's name.
Yeah,
that almost never happens
because he's one of the most beautiful people alive.
Is he really?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. Yeah. I don't know I guess.
Where? Who has seen him in the last 20 years?
He's going to be at the Phoenix Comic-Con this year.
Oh, shit.
So
it's too bad I didn't go.
I'm going to get his autograph.
Whatever. I saw Trisha Helfer in person. That's good. We're good.
I wonder if she's one of the most beautiful people alive, according to a magazine.
I doubt it, but she was.
Competition is fierce.
She was pretty. Yeah, I mean, like.
Yeah.
3.5 billion contestants. She falls well within the top 1%.
Yeah. Amazing.
All right, so we're talking about Star Trek Continues. Do you have any closing thoughts on that before we just make this an unreasonably long episode?
I know.
Again, because we get on Star Trek tangents.
It's a good show. I'm glad it's still in production. I hope they don't get sued. That's all.
There's some theory that they worked something out so that they could finish their run.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. I can't imagine the amount of just hate that Paramount and CBS could pile on itself if they sued Star Trek Continues.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, they must know that. They must know that.
I kind of hope they do it just for shits and gigs, but at the same time, it's terrible, and I don't want them to do that. They're a bunch of assholes.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has been episode number 20 of Wednesday Night Gentlemen, the Multimedia Empire official podcast. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please feel free to like or subscribe to our channel if you've enjoyed our banter. Head on over to our Facebook page, give us a like there, and we will see you on episode number 21.